Good evening and welcome to tonight's Wakefield College T-Level event, which we're hoping is going to be really useful to you if you are looking at doing T-Levels, a brand new qualification, brand new courses, which start from next September 2021 as an alternative to A-Levels, apprenticeships and other 16 to 19 courses as well. This might be your first time on one of our Wakefield College events. If it is, welcome along. Maybe you've been to one of our virtual open days that we've done already to have a good look around Wakefield College and University Centre. But let me introduce myself. My name is Rich Williams. I'm a radio presenter for Virgin Radio and also the host of the Wakefield College podcast. We've got our own podcast with lots of stuff on there as well. And it's a real privilege and a pleasure to be here to find out more with you about these amazing new courses which could be available and right up your street for next September. Now, of course, as always, there is live chat on the website where you can find out all the information you need. You can ask questions and everything you need to know, all those details. And if you want to ask a question tonight, you can actually do that as we are doing our event live. Just put it in the comment section and we can bring some questions through the people who know all about the T-Levels. We could have just left it all online for you, but we thought actually no, better to have a little chat and you can find out just what these courses entail. So we're going to look at them in depth. There are 3 of them that Wakefield College are offering for you as well. And if you do want a more sort of generic overview of the campus and how it looks, definitely check out our YouTube page because we've got several other events there which you can go and take a look at. So today we have a very special guest, Gillian Keegan MP, the Minister of Apprenticeships and Skills. We're going to hear from her very shortly. Then it will be Corinne Barker to explain more about T-Levels and exactly how they work if this is something you're finding out for the first time. We have Suzanne Black. She's in charge of the construction and the built environment T-Level. Matt Goodlad, who's in charge of the digital side of stuff. That's digital support services. We have Jodine Horrocks to talk about education and childcare, and also Hayley Shillito, who is can let you know about the industry placements because these are a really big part of the T-Levels as well. We've got to hear from some students who've done industry placements, and we'll hear from some of the employers as well today. So lots to get through, and thanks for joining us on this very dark, wintry evening. Let's start off to launch the event by hearing Gillian Keegan MP, the Minister for Apprenticeships and Skills, to give us an introduction to T-Levels.
Hello and welcome. I'm Gillian Keegan and I'm the Minister for Apprenticeships and Skills at the Department for Education. I'm sorry I can't be there with you all today, but I do hope to meet some of you in future. I'm here today to talk to you all about T-Levels as part of this virtual open event. But before I do, I just wanted to say congratulations for making it this far and well done for considering T-Levels as part of the next stage of your education. So what exactly are T-Levels? They're a brand new qualification. They've been designed specifically with leading employers for people who are your age, 16. The leading employers that have helped us design these qualifications have come from a large range of business sectors. So in construction, we've had architects, building designers, construction management and project management companies. In digital, we've had big tech companies, new digital companies and games designers. And in education and childcare, we've had primary schools, nurseries and children's centres. All those people with all that expertise have worked with us to help us design the qualification of the future. And on a T-level, you will spend around 80% of your time in the classroom and 20% of your time, around about 9 weeks, out on an industry placement with a real employer, doing real things, giving you the experience that you need to get ahead and the skills that they are looking for. Often young people get into this situation when you go for interviews later on and people ask you, what work experience do you have? And often people say, well, give me a job and give me a shot and I'll get some work experience and I'll prove it to you. And that's sometimes a difficult barrier to overcome. And T-Levels help you to overcome that because you'll have meaningful work experience, you'll have a meaningful placement, you'll be able to put something on your CV and you'll be able to talk in your interview about all the things that you've learned. And employers have told us what they need from young people when they're hiring. So what we've done is we've made sure that they've been involved in designing the courses with us. So by taking a T-level, you can be sure that the skills that you're developing and what you're studying are cutting edge, and you will gain an advantage by equipping yourselves with the skills that are needed in the world of work. And the world of work does move very quickly. There's a lot of technological advance in the workplace, and sometimes educators find that difficult to keep up with what's going on in the real world. And what we tried to do with T-levels is to bring those much closer together. And myself, having spent 30 years working in different companies, in different industries all over the world before becoming an MP, I know that this is something that employers will very much value, working together with the Department for Education to design the skills and the qualifications that they need in the workplace. The current COVID situation makes it even more vital for you as students to have access to that high quality learning so that you can access good jobs, because it will be a challenging economic environment for some time. And employers will want to ensure that they take on the very best people to support the growth of their businesses. From September 2021, there are 10 T-levels available in areas like construction, digital, health and science, engineering and manufacturing, and in total there will be 24 courses in a whole range of interesting subjects. So do check with your school or college which ones they're offering and see what's available for you in your area.
So there you go, a little bit of an introduction for you there from our minister, who will be back later to tell you a little bit more as well. Let's start off by speaking to Corinne Barker, who is the Director of Curriculum, because if there's anything you need to know about T-levels, Corinne knows. So let's welcome in Corinne, who can have a little chat with us now. There we go. How are you today? You okay?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Good.
And we are really excited, Rich, about the T-levels coming to Wakefield College. We have been working hard behind the scenes for the past 18 months. And as Gillian said, you know, we know that employers felt that students, although they had great skills and knowledge, they just weren't ready to get out into the workplace and to take up the job roles. So T-level planning, we've been in full swing for the past 18 months. We've been working with local employers, as Hayley will go on and tell you about later. But as a college, we've been getting T-level ready, making sure that we understand, you know, what we have to do and teach within the courses, making sure the tutors are ready and that the college is, you know, set and ready to deliver T-levels.
I was going to say, it must be exciting for you that you've done all this planning and it's going to come to fruition in September. But also, I guess, you know, if you're a 16-year-old watching this now thinking, actually, I've got the chance to do something brand new here, to really be the first person on this new qualification, that's exciting in itself.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's vocational qualifications, you know, in times gone past, students would either come into college and, you know, they would do an academic qualification, or they'd come into college and perhaps do something like engineering or childcare when they had opportunities to go out into place and put into practice theory. But T-levels are taking this to a completely different level. You know, they've been designed in conjunction with employers, and employers have got a real good interest in ensuring that the young people that go onto the courses, so if you choose a T-level, you absolutely know that employers are ready and waiting to be part of your education, part of your journey, your T-level journey.
Now, these T-levels, the three pathways that are available, the three options, we've got construction, digital, and education and childcare. Those are just three huge industries. And when you think about those industries, when you think about placements, one's where you think, actually, that would be a great opportunity to get some experience whilst you're learning as well. Yeah,
and we've chosen the three pathways because we feel that if you come onto a T-level at Wakefield College, we'll be able to give you a really good experience. You know, we've got expertise within the teaching departments, and a lot of our teachers have been involved in developing the T-levels and writing, you know, T-level, either been involved in the content or writing, you know, some of the exams and the assessments. So we've chosen those three areas because we know that we've got really good relationships with employers, and we wanted to start off with 3 T-levels so we can get it absolutely right. So, you know, students, you don't have to worry if you're coming onto a T-level at Wakefield College and think it's something new. It's something that we've planned for and that we're really confident that you will do well in.
Okay, I've lost sound for a second, but don't worry, I'll work that out. We have got a question. I'll worry about that side of things. We have got a question that's come in for you, if that's okay. So let's bring that up on the screen. And there we go. I've got you back now.
Yes.
What are the entry-level requirements, please, for students? And are there flexible starts within academic years or September enrolments only, please? That's from Vic. I like that. She's got 2 questions in one.
Yeah, brilliant. 2 brilliant questions and very, very relevant. There are only September starts because it's a 2-year course, a little bit like an A-level. So if you came onto the course, in December or January, you would have missed too much teaching to be able to pick it up. Now, they are very academic as well as being vocational. So they're almost an alternative to A-levels if you know exactly what area of work you'd like to go into. So, for example, if you've got, your sights set on becoming a teacher, then the T-level is a perfect route for you, because you will be having lots of underpinning knowledge, but also getting an opportunity to go out into the workplace. Now, the entry requirements are 5 or above in maths and English, because we appreciate that because the assessments are not ongoing, as lots of vocational qualifications are, they're all end assessments. So a little bit like the A-levels, you'll have to revise, you'll have to retain that knowledge and understanding throughout the year to be able to sit an end point exam in both the first year and the second year. So we appreciate that they are quite challenging courses, but very, very exciting courses. So, I think there are choices to be made. And if you know exactly what you want, what line of study or what line of work you want to go into, or perhaps if you want to progress to a particular university course, and we've got that T-level pathway, absolutely, they're the right course for you.
Okay, fantastic. Let's take a look at a little promotional video, just to tell you a bit more about the T-level courses. So there you go. Now, anyone who applies for this, if you inquire about it, you've got these personalised packs, don't you, for everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. If you apply for a T-level at Wakefield College, you will speak to somebody who will listen to exactly what T-level pathway you're interested in, and it might be more than one. And you'll be sent out a personalised information pack with your name on it, with all the literature inside that will help you make the decision as to whether you think perhaps T-levels might be something that you're interested in. The good thing about coming to Wakefield College as well is that if you decide, that you perhaps want a vocational qualification but not sure whether the T-level's the right route, or whether you want one of our, traditional vocational qualifications, we can have that discussion right at the start, and there's an opportunity to be flexible and to change, perhaps from a T-level to a traditional course within the first few weeks.
Fantastic. And these are definitely happening now, because you've had your big launch event and everything, haven't you? So how did that go?
Yeah, really exciting launch event we had last Monday. So we had lots of educational experts. We had Julie Hyde, who's director at NCFE. She spoke a little bit about student experiences, students that have been on the pilots in other pilot projects in other colleges. And we had Ian Thompson, who's another guy for an educational support agency. So we're just really, really excited. All the tutors are really excited. The heads are really excited. It's just probably one of the biggest developments in qualifications for many, many years. And we're just so ready for it at Wakefield College.
Awesome. Great to speak to you. Thank you so much. Corinne knows everything you need to know, quite frankly, about. And what we'll do is we'll dig a little bit more into each of those different 3 T-levels in just a moment. Before we do that, let's go back to Minister Keegan and find out exactly how these T-levels have been received nationwide so far.
So let's talk about how T-levels have been going so far. The first T-levels launched this September in 2020. So there are students in the year above you who have already started their courses. And I've spent some time throughout this term meeting some of them in face-to-face when I could, or virtually when that wasn't possible. So I've met some of the students as well as their teachers and employers. And what struck me is how enthusiastic everybody is about T-levels. They've told me that when they sat there and they were like you, considering the course, they looked at the prospectus, they thought it sounded pretty cool, but the course has actually exceeded their expectations, and many of them have already learned so much about new areas of their subject that they never even knew existed. And that's what you get, lots of ideas about what you want to do in the future, because they're already discovering a world of work, just a whole load of career options that are available just by what they're studying. And the students I've met so far have also told me that they chose a T-level because of the opportunity to do an industry placement. This is really what sets T-levels apart. They're looking forward to being able to put their skills into practice, make those connections in industry, and learn what the workplace is really like and what kind of careers are on offer. So T-levels are giving students a real taste for the working world, even before they've done their placements, and many of them are now considering degree apprenticeships for when they finish their T-level, a route that will allow you to pursue further study whilst also working at the same time and getting a head start in your career. Now, I did a degree apprenticeship 30 years ago, and I can tell you it was the best decision I made. I got paid, I studied up to degree level. I didn't obviously get any debt, and I was working full time. So I also got ahead and I got promoted first because of course they knew me because I was there in the workplace. So consider that as a great option, because I think it's something that is a very good route after a T-level course. But of course the T-level also gives you the option to progress straight into work if that's what you want to do, or onto university too if you wish. And you get 168 UCAS points, which is the top equivalent. If you do the top marks of a T-level, it's equivalent to 3 A stars at A level. The key thing to remember is that T-levels will really give you a head start, and even in September 2021 you'll be part of an elite group who will be some of the first to complete a T-level across the whole country. So now's the time to apply for next September. So do your research, ask a lot of questions, and be sure to put your application in to secure your place. Good luck.
So there you go. And of course, all the details are on the website as well, wakefield.ac.uk, with the phone numbers and the email addresses and everything you could possibly need to know. Right, let's dig into the three courses that are available for you at Wakefield College. Any questions, pop them in the chat. We'll do our very best to answer them for you live here this evening. Let's start off with construction and the built environment. The head of curriculum for construction is Suzanne Black. So let's bring Suzanne in. There's Suzanne. How are you doing? Okay.
Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Right, you're first up, Suzanne, which is good. It's your T-level's been first on the list. So for any potential students who are watching this right now, thinking they might be interested in the construction and the built environment T-level, tell us a bit about what they're going to learn on this course.
The T-level course has three components to it, as has been explained. It's got the core, the specialism, and the work placement element. The core element, that's really where the students learn the fundamentals to construction. They'll learn about building technology, the science and sustainability, and about the construction industry itself. The core elements is assessed through, as Corinne has alluded to earlier, it's assessed through 2 external examinations at the end of the 2-year period.
Okay, and there are kind of like specialism choices as well that you can choose to do. So tell us a little bit about those ones.
At the college, at Wakefield College, we'll be offering 2 specialist routes. There'll be surveying design and there will be the civil engineering route. The surveying design is a broader route, and it allows for those that are looking to take into surveying, setting out more site management. The civil engineering is centred around more infrastructure than construction, than house building, and the built environment. Civil engineering is the infrastructure route.
Got you. Now, one of the most important things, not just with this particular T-level, but with all the ones we're going to talk about tonight, is the links with industry, the links with potential employers and the people that you're going to be working with placements. And I mean, you've got huge backing, haven't you, at the moment? Loads of people involved in this.
Yes, we've been working for a good 12-month period, ensuring that within the Wakefield district that we could engage our T-level students with the sector, not only just for their work placement, but also to ensure that we'd got the currency of the delivery and to partner really. So we have we've achieved the backing of a number of small to medium design organisations and construction organisations within the district, and we've also secured the backing of NG and Wakefield Council, who are the two of the largest employers.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some of these. I've got some of these in front of me. You know, there's NG, the Simon Group, Keep Moat Homes. You know, these are names that people will be very familiar with. The council as well, Balfour Beatty, and I know there's more coming on board every day. And in fact, one of those, we've got Sarah from NG, who really wanted to be here tonight, but because of another commitment couldn't be. But she wanted to sort of pass over a few words as well, which I think you've got for us, Suzanne, haven't you?
Yes, Sarah sent me a message and asked me to relay this message to you all. She said, "Hi, my name is Sarah and I work for NG. I am the social value manager on the contract, responsible for supporting young people locally with employability skills and career opportunities. NG have been working with Wakefield College for a number of years. We have a great relationship and work in partnership in a diverse range of ways. We work together to bring industry into the classroom, enhancing the learning undertaken in college, and provide off-site opportunities and experiences to take learning into the workplace. We are delighted to be a T-level partner with Wakefield College."
I mean, it was almost like Sarah was here with us, Suzanne, wasn't it? It was pretty much the same thing anyway. Let me just ask you as well, because in terms of the construction department, talk us through a bit about the facilities down there at Wakefield College, the things that that students can expect.
The students that are studying with us on the T-level will study at Wakefield City Campus, and the teaching resource that we have there, all staff have progressed from the construction industry and carried out the professional roles within the sector that these young people are aspiring to be. The resources that we've got down there, we have our own designated IT resource, which will support us to deliver the digital elements of the programme. The IT resources equipped with CAD and Revit and BIM and other software packages that are deployed within the sector for possibly measurement, estimating and tendering, for example. And we also have our own designated science facility down there where students can, as I said before, they study a technology aspect where they're looking and they're examining materials that are used within the sector, and that facilitates that.
In terms of the work placement side of stuff, which we know is this 80-20 balance, what kind of projects will they be working on? This sort of like actual real life projects that are happening, or what kind of stuff will they be getting a chance to do?
It will be very much determined by what their personal aspirations are. So for those that are looking to work within the civil engineering sector, what we will try to do is get them there's two aspects really. Is it design or is it actual production that you're wanting to be involved in? So if it was the production side, we would try and get them onto a local project, be it a highway project with Wakefield Council, or possibly a sewerage treatment works with Yorkshire Water. If we're looking more at residential development, if they're more interested in the construction arm, we would be looking to possibly place them on site with Keep Moat. For those that have not yet, and even 12 months into the course, are still yet to identify the route, their actual career path, we're working with a number of our sector partners to establish what we'd loosely term as a bit of a round robin of a placement. So they're moved around varying departments, which would help them to identify where they wanted to progress to at the end of the programme.
Thank you. We should have given a little warning for anyone having their tea before we mentioned the sewage works, but that's been and gone now. So there are lots of roles that this could lead to, really, I guess, and it will give you the opportunity to sort of sample some of those, not pigeonhole yourself too early.
Yes, it would. I mean, the construction sector, particularly from this technical area, is very diverse. There'll be some people that want to work on the design side and maybe progress to become structural design engineers or architects if they're more involved or interested in the aesthetics of things. And every role it's involved in both the design stage and the production stage. So you've got estimators, planners, quantity surveyors, and then you've got those that are working out on site, actually managing the production and the quality of what is built.
Fantastic. Suzanne, thank you so much for explaining that. I think it'll be really helpful for everyone who's watching, who's been thinking about this kind of construction and build side of things as well. That is one of the T levels available. And let's just have a look at the construction department actually at Wakefield College and how employers such as NG are going to be integral to your learning experience. And you'll be able to hear from more future potential employers and people working with us with the T levels very soon, and also some students who've been doing placement with those employers already. Let's move on to the second of our T levels of the three on offer at Wakefield College from September 2021. You can apply from now, of course. This is the Digital Support Services T level, and the head of curriculum for digital is Matt Goodlads, who joins us. Here we go. Hi, Matt. You all right, mate?
Hi, Rich. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Okay, so let's talk about the digital T level and what that involves. We know we've got this 80-20 like with the other ones as well, but talk to us about digital.
Well, there's actually a number of possible digital T level pathways that we could offer. But at Wakefield, we're focusing on the digital support services route. So we're doing that for a reason, Rich, because locally around Wakefield and actually throughout Yorkshire, IT support services are really well represented by employers. So there's a lot of jobs in the sector now, but crucially, more are predicted in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's really why we're prioritising the support services route for this September. Now, just like all T levels, it's made up of the classroom-based study and also a substantial placement with an employer. It's not just practical. In fact, as Corinne and Suzanne have said, it's very academic. So you're going to explore the core knowledge of the industry alongside developing your professional skills. So it's got exams, just like A-levels, and it also has a more practical employer set project that's more like your conventional BTECs too.
Okay, so in terms of the careers and the jobs that this could potentially lead to for people, you're thinking, oh, digital, but where do I go from there? What are those kind of areas?
Well, just to explain what we mean by IT support services, if you take a business or a company that uses a lot of IT, as most companies do these days, a large company, well, they may have their own IT support team working within their own building. Smaller businesses, well, they may use an external IT company to help them. So it's really about ensuring that their IT systems are reliable, they're effective, they run efficiently. So you can imagine how important this T-level pathway is going to be to most employers, not just digital or technology firms. Just look at, distribution companies like Next or Amazon. They're right on our doorstep. And then think about how much they depend on a reliable IT network. So you've then also got small independent businesses that rely on providing customer service online, for example. Now, they need professional IT systems that they don't personally know how to set up or maintain themselves. And that's what this T-level is really supporting. And when you ask the question about the jobs, and there's a number of jobs that this T-level really relates to, it could be that you want to progress into a job as an IT support technician or an engineer, but it also supports progression into really specialist roles like cybersecurity and data management. So you're going to learn how the IT sector works and also develop a knowledge of the running of an IT support business. Now, what I love about this T-level is how it opens up so many opportunities for young people to actually focus on an IT career and a more direct route into a job.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like, opening a kind of proverbial industry can of worms almost. It's like, well, come and do this one, and the opportunities are endless, really. I mean, I know once again you're working with employers and industry. So how is that going to work for people looking to do digital?
Yeah, well, for digital, then we're working with a company called Bellingham IT. Bellingham have actually supported us for a couple of years now. So in the past, they've offered short work placements. They've offered advice on things like professional practice or what it's like to work in the IT industry. But now Bellingham IT are getting more involved in actually developing our T-level as well. So they're an important partner for the college because they're a leading IT company. They're local. I mean, they're based in South Kirby, actually. And they're really supportive in helping us design our course and making it relevant, to what companies like them are actually expecting from our computing students. So to have them on board, it gives us confidence that our course would definitely make you more employable.
Yeah, I guess that's the key, isn't it? By working with employers who are in industry, they can mold it according to what the needs are, rather than something that's just always been set down on paper that always got to be this way. Actually, if the industry is developing, these courses will kind of mold with them, right? Yeah,
well, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the focus of this, really. I mean, even my staff getting involved with industry, going out there and meeting with Bellingham, they're discussing on a weekly basis exactly what this job's going to entail. So it's going to be invaluable for that, really.
Okay, fantastic. Let's actually hear, we've got Paul from Bellingham IT who can let you know a little bit more about their industry and why they decided to back the digital T-level at Wakefield College.
Hello to one and all of you out there. Firstly, let me thank you for getting involved and giving me this opportunity to get involved in this T-level open day for Wakefield College. Shame it's virtual and not face-to-face, but those are the times that we're in, and we have to make the most of it, really, don't we? So I'll crack on. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Paul Hyam. My business is Bellingham IT. We provide an outsourced IT department to the SME market within the Wakefield and West Yorkshire districts. When I say outsourced IT department, we essentially provide a proactive support for desktops, servers, network devices, networks themselves. We have a manned IT help desk. We purchase hardware and software, and we provide the secure cloud solutions that businesses have needed to help them work through this pandemic. So our relationship with Wakefield College started 3 or 4 years ago when we started to offer work placements to students on the ICT courses, to give them a grounding and a good idea of what it's like to work within the tech sector. and off the back of that, we've employed a number of them, and we still have one of them working with us today. So we find the relationship fantastic, and we find the quality of student that Wakefield College produces to be exceptional as well. And because of that, we had no hesitation whatsoever to get involved with offering the same to students on the T-level course. We've worked with Matt Goodlad now for probably the past 12, 18 months to try and make sure that the curriculum of the course is what us as an employer needs and wants, and it will give the students on the course all the grounding that they need, plus the work experience of spending, I think it's up to 52 days with ourselves, working with us and our clients, getting involved in every aspect of the business, from dealing with customer calls in a managed way to getting involved in project work. So with Bellingham IT, they certainly will get a good idea of what it's like to work for an IT support company. So I'm going to leave it short and sweet. My time's almost running out. So thank you for listening, and I urge you to take up a place on the T-level course at Wakefield College, and hopefully see you sometime at the end of next year. So okay. Good luck and enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.
So there you go, Matt. You even got a name check there, Matt. So that's that's pretty good going as well. But it just goes to show, isn't it? I mean, they're obviously really happy with the partnership you've got there, and it works both ways. And it will, inevitably, the main thing is it's going to work for students who are doing the T-level.
Yeah, I mean, just like you've heard from Paul there, I mean, his contribution has been invaluable. But I mean, on the T-level, you're going to get to go on a 45-day placement with Bellingham IT, so with Paul's company, or a company just like them. So you're going to experience exactly what it's like to work for a successful IT company. You'll also get to use the tools, the software that are standard within the industry, and really build on your technical skills. But Bellingham, in return, they're going to expect you to work as part of their team. They're going to expect you to communicate and work with their clients day to day, really get stuck into the role. And that's the goal of T-level placements. It's really to put learning into practice and develop those skills, become more employable. So genuinely, we're really excited about that.
Yeah, well, he did mention, Matt, and no pressure on any potential students here, but he did mention that they tend to be exceptional when they come from Wakefield College. So that's a bar to aim towards. Yeah, absolutely. Matt, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your time. We've actually got a bit of a video we can show you. This is Jack, who's currently studying at the University Centre at Wakefield College, and he's experienced the placement with Bellingham IT. He did this last year as a Wakefield College student, and he found it.
Hi, I'm Jack. I did a placement at Bellingham IT. Here I got trained up in IT support, and I answered customer calls and sorted their problems out. I enjoyed the social aspect of this because I got to know my co-workers really well, and we really got on. I found this really worthwhile because it got me industry experience and in the area that I wanted to do. One call I got, was one of their clients' server had completely shut down, and with the help and cooperation of my co-workers, we actually sorted out the problem. Solving this problem taught me invaluable skills, both in this industry and in life. Problem solving is paramount. After this placement, I continued into university level education, and I'm currently doing a bachelor's degree in IT.
So there you go, just gives us an idea. I love liking the laid-back sort of music going on there as well. But just an idea of how invaluable it is. Talks about problem solving and the kind of things you can expect. But this is the point of the placement, isn't it? This is the point of the T-level. It's this 20% to get you work ready, industry ready for when you've finished or decide to do your next step.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I mentioned before, I mean, that's really the main goal of the placements, and it's something that other vocational courses don't necessarily have to this extent. So the goal really of the placement is developing the skills and the knowledge, and you're putting it into practice in a real, working environment. And to have someone like Bellingham supporting that and giving students the opportunity to get that hands-on real experience, is something we've not necessarily been able to offer to this extent before. So the T-level, it's exceptional, really.
Well, thank you so much for the overview, Matt. Much appreciated. If you want to get involved in the digital side of things, all the details on the website. Matt would love to hear from you. The phone numbers are on there, the application process, everything you need to know at wakefield.ac.uk. Matt, you're a star. Thanks, mate. Much
Brilliant.
appreciated.
Cheers, Rich. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so we still need to take a further in-depth look at the placements and how they work, industry placements. Hayley will tell us a little bit more about that shortly. Before, though, let's go on to the third area, which might be of interest for you. And if you've been waiting for this one, thanks for your patience. It is education and childcare. There is a T-level available in that. And the head of curriculum for care and early years is Jodine Horrocks, who joins us magically on the screen. Jodine, how are you? Okay?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
I thought you had a festive jumper there on, but it's not a festive jumper. It's just a nicely designed one. Yeah. Okay. We're not quite in the Christmas mode yet. Okay. Let's talk about education and childcare. Now, I guess first and foremost, the thing that's worth mentioning is we've talked about this 80-20 split. This is slightly different for education and childcare, just to confuse things slightly.
Just a little bit, yeah. Everyone keeps going on about 80-20 split, and we do a lot more placements. We're actually more 60-40. So you'll actually be out on placement for 2 days a week, right from the start. And while you're there, you'll be doing everything that every other employee would be expected to do. Obviously, we'll break you in gently, and you'll go nice and slowly and learn new skills as you're going through it. But it is 2 days, and you need to be able to commit to that time in the setting for the full 2 years.
Okay, so we'll come back to the placement side of it in just a moment. Before we get there, and the value of why it's 2 days, 40% as opposed to 20. But before we get that, what are you learning on the education and childcare T-level? I guess that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. There's a whole raft of things that people think working with children is all about play, and it is important, but there's a whole load of other things that go alongside with it. So we've got things like safeguarding, health and safety, behaviour management is key when you're working with children. You do a lot on equality and diversity. There's the basics of child development, but then with the T-level, we go very much in depth of working with other professionals as well, and working with the families. So it's going deeper into that side of things as well. So you're ready for employment when you're working with a range of different people, and to help the families alongside the children.
Now, there are other, early years childcare courses that are available out there. How would you say the T-level differs, really? The thing that really makes it stand out?
I think it's the new content. It's the fact that this has been developed with employers. So everything that is being taught and everything we're expecting you to learn is actually things that are really current. They're right there with the newest ways of working with children, the newest theories that are going into practice, and it's very much in depth. So it's much more detailed than what we deliver currently. And because it's been built with the employers, it's actually more up to date than what we have been currently delivering. So you'll have the best practice, the most up-to-date practice, and be working the most up-to-date methods, really, to make sure that those children learn and get the best out of their lives.
Now, in terms of industry placements, there's a collection of sort of small, medium-sized childcare nurseries and things like that. Who have you got on board? Where are the kind of places you might be able to get that experience in?
We're currently working with a wide range of nurseries and schools. We've got about 60 that we work with over the past few years. We're currently putting a consortium together of a small number of nurseries that will actually help us to develop sort of the teaching and making sure that the teaching runs with what they require. So that it's in the right order, so that you're learning things that you need when you're going out to settings. So we don't currently have names, and we're hoping to have some very soon. But we have got some nurseries that are coming on board now, and are very eager to meet you all when you're starting in September.
I guess they're like you are excited about the opportunity of a new kind of qualification, which a lot of people are at the moment. Let's talk about this 60-40 split, which is different from the other ones. You got 20%, 80%, 80-20 with digital, 80-20 with construction. You're 60-40. So why is that?
That's because everything we teach you need to go off and actually do in practice. So it's very different when you're sat in a classroom and you're learning how a theorist has said children learn. You need to be in setting to actually know how children learn, because until you're there, you can't fully understand. So everything we teach in the classroom, you then have to go and experience, and the 2 days is key to that. The other aspect of it is that children need to get to know you, and for them to work with you, 1 day a week isn't enough. The 2 days a week gives you time to actually grow those relationships with the staff team, but also with the children, because they are key to everything that you will be doing.
Yeah, I guess if you're just kind of like dipping in and then dipping out straight away, it's hard to build those real sort of like bonds and get that experience that you'll get if you're doing it, a couple of days in a row, for example.
Definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Let's talk about career options after T-levels, because one of the things that we've talked about, and probably one of the reasons why maybe you're watching at the moment, is because you're thinking, actually, this is a really good way to bridge between education and then maybe going into the workplace as well. So what kind of career options are available? There's obviously some obvious ones, but what else is there in a more broader sense?
Yeah, and the obvious one is going into work within the day nursery itself as an early years educator, and that's one of the reasons. The other reason that we have the larger amount of work placement, you get a license to practice, which means you are a fully qualified early years practitioner. But alongside going into employment there, you could then go off to university. You could look at things like teaching, whether it's an early years teacher or a primary teacher. You could go into social work. We have previously had students that have done a level 3 qualification that have gone into nursing and midwifery. So the T-level will give you those skills to work with children, but it also gives you the academic skills to be ready for a university level qualification. And it might be at the end of the T-level you decide, actually, I want to go and experience work, which is fantastic. But then in a few years' time, think, actually, I have got those skills, I'm going to use them, and end up going to university as well. So it's giving you the options. It's saying that anything is open at the end. So it is a really worthwhile qualification for that reason.
And from your point of view, setting this up for the first time, I guess it's going to be exciting for you to watch, potential students who right now might be about to just hop onto wakefield.ac.uk and send in their application to see how they're going to thrive, how they're going to grow under this new sort of T-level umbrella.
Definitely. I think as a teacher, you want to see the students come in and they're fresh from school. They may have been with us for a year doing a level 2 qualification. They come on board, and I think seeing any student sort of develop and seeing yourselves come along fresh-faced and very eager to get to the end, and actually you're desperate to move on to that next side, and we get a way to sort of say, yeah, I've done that, I'm off now, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see. It's you moving on to your next stage.
Brilliant. Jenny, thank you so much for telling us a bit about that, and having everyone sat here going 80-20, 80-20. No, we're 60-40. We do it differently here, but really much appreciated. And all the best with getting everything set up and getting that consortium and nurseries and everything together as well. Lovely to speak to you. Thanks for that. There you go. Right, we've got a little video for you, actually. This is from the Department of Education on a student who's already started her T-level education and childcare industry placement.
She comes in, she does exactly what's asked of her, she never complains about anything, she just gets on with it, and it's amazing to have someone like that.
I could have some sticky notes and they could give me like good and bad traits.
She involves me with everything, so she'll always give me a child to work with and give me a task to do and complete it. The other staff have been really welcoming as well. It's really nice.
She's an excellent role model for the children. I think the way she speaks to them is perfect for the setting that we're in.
At the beginning of the year, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. Like the circle time, I would not have ever thought that I would be able to do it. My nerves would have got in the way, and now I don't get scared by doing it. It's just a normal thing. They come in, I say, right, circle time, we do it, and it's fine. I don't even think about it.
Really good. Well done. I would say the biggest change has been in her confidence, because when I first started, she was very quiet, very softly spoken, and she still is those things. She's a very gentle person, but her confidence with the children and speaking in front of a group has grown hugely.
Just about every placement has said, we really like having students out more on placements, because there's a continuity, there's consistency. The children really appreciate having somebody because they become very familiar with them and they become part of the team, and they're given much more responsibility if they're out more often. And just hands-on experience it does go hand in hand with the academic studies.
When I think back to me being 16, I couldn't have done this, not a chance. So I think the difference is when I was 16, I stayed on at school to do A-levels. Going into the industry placement and the course that she's done that way, I think opens a different sort of world to you.
I've learned so much when I've been here that I never thought I would. Even in a year, I've seen so much development in myself, and I feel like if I didn't have the placement, I wouldn't be this confident.
I'm just proud that we see them, we take them in as novices and we send them out with experience and knowledge, ready to move on to the next stage of their lives, really.
And as with all our videos this evening, they were filmed pre-COVID. Do you remember that? Yeah, I know it seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? But yeah, they were filmed beforehand. If you're wondering, wait a minute, what's going on there? That is the reason why. Okay, let's talk about these industry placements as our final part of tonight's event, because at least 45 days you will be spending doing an industry placement. But how do they logistically work? How do they practically work? And who are we working with? Our head of student experience is Hayley Shillito, who can tell us a little bit more. And here we go. Hayley, hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, pre-COVID, hey? What a long time ago. Okay, let's talk about the industry placements, because I'll tell you what, there's quite a lot of jargon, isn't there? Right? You've got apprenticeships, you've got work placements, you've got industry placements. These are industry placements. So let's just to clear up or to clarify for everyone watching, how does an industry placement, how is it different from other types of placements?
Okay, so certainly if you were on a vocational qualification, you would opt to obviously study, let's say, IT, for example. And as part of that course, you would do a work placement. And a work placement is usually what you would traditionally have done at school, so a week-long placement with a company. Really, really valuable to do a work placement, but it is only a week in length. So you never really get to the nitty-gritty of learning about the company, about the role, about the sector. Whereas an industry placement, which is what you would do on a T level, you get to do, as you said, a minimum of 45 days, or as some people sort of term it, 315 hours. So that's the minimum. So then you really do get to, have that experience with the employer. You get to learn about the sector that you want to work in. You get to learn about the job role. You get to learn what other people do in that organisation and how it all works together. And certainly you mentioned apprenticeships there. Apprenticeships are very much about on-the-job training. And although there is an element of that on-the-job training through the industry placement, there's obviously a lot more time spent at college. I know we've said about the 80-20, 20-80, 60-40, largely, with a T level, you are going to be spending 20% of it sort of on the job and doing what you actually want to do in the future. So it's really, really valuable.
Now, T levels might be brand new, but that doesn't mean that working with local employers isn't brand new for Wakefield College and University Centre. It's something you've been doing for a long, long time. So anyone thinking, oh, is this something new you're having to pull together for these T levels? It's not at all. This is an enhancement of something you've been doing brilliantly with local employers for a long time.
Absolutely. We work with hundreds of employers across the district, and we continue that work with a lot of employers who've had long-standing relationships where they've supported us for years in terms of, bringing in employers to the college. We've taken a lot of students to employers, and we continue to build on those relationships, but also continue to bring in new employers all the time. Certainly, Gillian Keegan at the start said how, employers have really fed through to these T-level qualifications, and they absolutely have. And we expect that our T-level industry partners, some of who we've mentioned, NG, Wakefield Council, Bellingham IT, we absolutely hope that through that partnership they will also feed through into our qualification as well and really help guide the student into, again, where they want to be in the future. So yeah, that's really exciting to be able to go to employers with these brand new qualifications and see how eager they are to get involved as well, because they're quite happy with the shift in qualifications and want to be able to help and support students, because they're our next generation. They are our next generation in the construction sector. They are going to be the ones that are building our houses in the future. So it's great to get companies on board who really want to train and get them ready for that next step.
Yeah, it's all right having sort of like new qualifications, but if the industry isn't fussed for them, this whole point is, isn't it, that the industry have helped design these, have helped do these. They want this as much as it is a great opportunity for you as well to be doing them. Let's just to really make it really clear that the benefits of doing an industry placement, what would you say those main ones are?
The main ones are, like I've said, getting to know the actual job that you want to do. A lot of 16-year-olds might be a little bit unsure about, what sector they want to work in. And with a T-level, I'm not saying that you need to know exactly what you want to do, but I think you need to be pretty sure about the sector that you want to work in. So it's about really getting to know that, learning those technical skills that you're going to be able to use in the future. It's about getting to know a company, and it's also about being individual to you and your needs. So certainly with an industry placement, students set objectives that are set within the agreement of themselves, the tutor, and the employer. So they're really working on something that's specific to them and about their development. So obviously, one student might need support in a particular area. They would identify that as part of the meeting with the employer and the tutor, and they'd set an objective that's specific to them and individual to their needs. So the benefits, although they are quite generic in terms of learning about the company and the job role, they can actually be much more individual and much more about you and again, where you want to be in the future. And, we always say with any experience in the workplace, that's going to be fantastic on your CV, fantastic when you're applying for universities. And again, it sets you apart when you are actually going for those jobs in the future because you've got genuine experience. Again, I know I mentioned Gillian earlier before, but she very much touched upon meaningful. And it is making sure that they have a meaningful work placement so that they get something out of it. And that's why they have to do it for the length of time that they do.
There's even like a T-levels industry approved logo, right? For companies that are involved. Yeah, you got the whole hog.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got industry partners who have agreed to work with us, and they're keen to take students, in 2021 to support them. And we're taking on new industry partners, quite regularly now. I think, words on the street that T-levels are out there and Wakefield College are delivering them in 2021. And people want to get a piece of it. It is a new qualification. It's going to be so exciting to get students and employers on board, and I think people are starting to feel that and are gearing up to sort of deliver those come September.
I know we're sort of specifically talking about T-levels and industry placements and all that tonight, but before you go, I do want you to have the opportunity because, I've spent time down at Wakefield College and worked with the team down there as well. It is a fantastic place. You are head of student experience. So it is probably just worth, just for a moment, just showing off about how flipping awesome Wakefield College is, because it is a great place. It's a great place. It's got a great feeling, great campuses, a great family feel to it as well. And, you head up a lot of that student experience element of it. So you should show it off a little bit, Hayley. You really should.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we do have a real community at Wakefield College, and we put on loads of stuff for students to make sure that when they come to the college, they're not just signing up to a qualification. They are signing up to an experience. They get to learn new skills, not only in the classroom, but also through all the different activities that we put on. We put on different things that students can get involved in, so they develop their social skills. They get to meet new people. So your generic enrichment stuff. There's loads of football on, rugby, your tennis, all those sorts of normal sporting things that you would see. But certainly in the new environment that we're all operating with COVID restrictions and things like that, we've also got loads of other things that are happening, and we've got loads of online clubs. So we're doing some climate change work at the moment. We're getting people through their driving theory. So we're adapting sort of the way that we deliver things. We've got a student union. They put on loads of events. We can't wait hopefully in the new year when we can start to take students out on trips and visits again. Again, we can take them to things like Alton Towers, do some fun stuff, but then again, we get them out on site visits to different employers. We get them involved in employer projects. So it really is thinking about taking that young person who's come to do a qualification with us, but really developing those skills that are outside of that to get them ready for the working world and whatever they want to do in the future. But not only is it important that they get to work on all that, but they should be having fun at the same time. College life can be some of the best years of your life. So we want to make sure that they have the opportunity and the experiences in order to do that, really.
Fantastic. And look, this year's been weird. It's been weird for you guys. It's been weird for anyone who's watching this right now, wherever they've been doing their education. But yeah, we are talking about September 2021. That's when the applications are for, and we all hope, fingers crossed with all the The developments they've been in the last few weeks that hopefully will be back to something like, if not normal, which is great. Hayley, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of an insight there on the industry placement side of things. Wakefield.ac.uk is the place to go, and there are really some impressive employees on board there. And we've got Imogen Brooks to show you now. Imogen Brooks is from the Sidon Group, which is one of Wakefield College's T-level industry partners, as you've been hearing, and you can hear about what they do and what you can expect from a placement with them.
From Sidon Construction, we're a reinforced concrete specialist. We build anything from high-rise concrete frames, bridges, energy from waste projects, anything with lots of concrete in, really. We've just become a partner with Wakefield College. This is to try and attract people trying to get into the construction industry, whether that's because you're interested in civil engineering as an engineer, quantity surveying, estimating, project management. There's lots of roles within our business, so have a look into it, see what's available. What could you expect from a placement with us? Definitely lots of good experience, put into a role with some experienced people that have been in the industry for a number of years and can really open your eyes to see what our industry is all about. And you wouldn't be just sat in an office ticking boxes and filling in paperwork. You'd be out on site and actually getting some good experience. We do have a couple of good jobs at the minute in Leeds, working for Balfour Beatty, so there's some good opportunities there to get some good site experience. Our head office is based in Barnsley as well, so there might be a couple of opportunities there within an office sort of role and managing the site and the pricing side from here. Lots of roles that it could lead to in the future. There's a very good website called Construct, I think it is, and that would give you a really good idea of what roles might be in our construction industry and what is available. So have a look at our website, see what projects we've been involved in. It's a great industry to get into. It's very fast paced, there's lots happening, it's busy, there's lots of jobs out there. Have a look into it and contact us if you've got any questions or if you're kind of interested in seeing what we're all about. Okay, thank you.
So there you go. Thanks to Imogen from Sidon Group there, one of Wakefield College's industry partners. And that brings us to the end of today's event. Thank you so much for joining us. As I mentioned right at the start, if this is giving you a flavour for T-levels, you want to find out a little bit more about Wakefield College. Hayley touched on some of it there. It really is a great place. Go and have a look, wakefield.ac.uk. There are virtual tours there. You can watch back on our YouTube page previous virtual events to find out a bit more about the college as a whole as well, and to get more of a flavour of what might await you come September 2021. Applications are open right now, so you can get involved in that. Wakefield.ac.uk, all the details there. There is a live chat, email details, and if you just want to ask a question, pick up the phone, have a natter with us. We'd love to answer anything you want to know about. And if you know any friends, anyone in your situation who you think might benefit from watching this and is still not sure what they're doing come September, please do pass this their way as well. It's been great to speak to you tonight. Take care. Is it too early to say Merry Christmas? I think we can say it. Merry Christmas from everyone at Wakefield College, and hopefully we'll see you in September.